All right. So listen, thank you for being on. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for giving me a platform to share this information. And just want to let you know, they're monitoring this video right now. The CIA is watching this video right now, just so you know.
All right. Well, you know that for a fact.
For 100% fact.
All right. What are DUMBs? DUMBS. What are they? And what can you tell us about them?
Deep underground military bases are basically how the elite communicate now. They can do it because there's no wires, there's no surveillance, there's no wiretaps, and there's no evidence of witnesses of anything. And it's how they communicate. They do it through cloning now, human cloning. It's called REM, consciousness transfer. Every night when they have the ability to transfer their consciousness into a clone, and that's how they communicate now at the cloning centers.
Fascinating. And you say that okay, so here's my question. You have these bases. How are they maintaining these bases? Who's funding these little projects?
Us. Phil Schneider. Philip Schneider, some of you guys might know of him. He was an ex-military engineer who came out and exposed everything. He exposed Area 51, Dose Base, all the underground military bases, and shows the technology, how they have these huge boring machines that they're basically like huge lasers, and what they do is find the area where they want to create the base and they explode it. They use these dynamites and they explode it, and they use these boring machines. It's like a huge twisting laser and the technology they have is eon beyond us. They already have it since like the pyramids. They just keep it from us.
All right, so let's go one step at a time here. So you claim that there are deep underground military bases, at least in the United States, that we know of. You talk about, some people might say, well, where's Fighter Spirit getting all these crazy conspiracy theories from? Talk a little bit about Phil Schneider. Who was he? What were his qualifications? And what was his story?
Okay, well, Phil Schneider, he came out like in the 90s. I don't remember exactly when, but he was a military engineer for the U.S. He would work on these underground military bases that they're known. You can Google them. This is not a theory. It's just whether or not what he's saying is true. The clone labs, the quote-unquote gray aliens. Well, there's one video of Phil Schneider on YouTube where he's giving a lecture, and he shows his fingers. He tells a story of how he was in, I think, Area 51, working on the base. And while he was working on the base and they were drilling in the holes, this black fume started coming from the hole. He was like city smog, like what would be in like city smog, like, in a city fume. And he realized like there's a whole civilization down there. And while he was working down there, a quote unquote gray alien, he called it a gray alien, but it's a Vril type 3 lizard. And they put the exact lizard in the movie Star Wars. They're known as Kaminoan. We'll talk about it in a bit.
Absolutely.
And it attacked him. It attacked him. He claimed it blasted his, and I'll get to more. There's evidence to,
substantiate.
Exactly. He claimed that the alien beamed him with his laser and blew off his fingers. And in the video, he shows his missing fingers. And he says how in the U.S. alone, there's like 1,000 and something military bases. They're all over the world, but he mentions in the U.S. alone. And he shows a picture of a quote unquote gray alien in the video and everything. And a picture of some government agents or something like that in some looking like a courtroom or something. And the alien right there sitting down.
Well, okay, yeah. So just to recap, Phil Schneider, maybe he was working for the military. He claimed he had degrees in geology and chemistry.
Yes. I also forgot to mention that the government, they didn't tell him the Green Berets. When he got attacked by a gray alien, that Vril lizard that beamed his finger off, a black beret soldier that was there, looking over them. The thing is, the government didn't tell him about the alien threat, the Vril threat. And when he got his finger beamed off, that same day, that black beret soldier got killed by the gray alien. He said that that Black Beret soldiers saved his life, pushed him into the thing to get pushed back up to the level up, and the alien killed him. And he said that thousands of workers in these bases have got killed by these aliens, by these lizards, because the government never tells them. It's just like, you know, where you want to work for the government, you're going to get paid all this money. Woo, that's all they tell you. And then you go down there and they're not going to tell nobody. They'll just say, oh, it was an accident.
Well,
His body was never found. We couldn't find his body and locate him.
That's the thing. So this guy, Phil Schneider, who again, he was an educated man. He wasn't just any old guy talking about this. He had degrees in geology and chemistry. He claims he was working for the government in deep underground military bases. He says they were drilling in the earth under the rock with special technology. He says it was laser technology, and that like Fighter Spirit said, he claims they encountered an alien. They got into a battle with the alien because, again, this guy had guards around him, green berets and black berets, and that they saved his life, but that he ended up getting injured.